And there we are. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Happy Alien Day. We totally planned from the start to wrap Chapter 3 on Alien Day. It's a thing
Absolutely.
that I remembered always and forever.
He marks it on his calendar every year.
Every year. Just,
Every
I don't
year.
know why, since I was a small child. Anyway, I don't fucking know. Let's do some introductions. The big one we got is going to be John, because poor Todd. Anyway, Jeff, why don't you start us out?
Hey, how you doing? I'm Ruth, doctor. I work on the station. I'm a bit of an advanced age. I've been on the station for many years. And some people here I get along with very well, like Jason, wonderful, beautiful young man. We do very many illicit drugs together. As a botanist, I know the best way to grow certain things. And then there's Dick, who said a lot of things in the heat of passion one afternoon in an elevator, and it was very cruel afterwards, which isn't really very surprising now that I've learned about how he treated his family, pushed them away, got them killed, all those sorts of things. So it's not very surprising at all, I gotta say. So anyhow, happy Alien Day.
Oh, this is a PvP night. I can feel it.
Bring it. You want to fight me, Dick?
It would be the most incompetent slap fight ever.
Oh, you better be careful.
Oh my goodness.
You better be careful.
John,
Yeah.
first off, why don't you remind us what happened to Todd?
Todd stayed behind to look after the wounded. And in doing so, to treat a severed leg, he had to remove the gloves of his spacesuit. And so he probably is infected. So he stayed behind, and he had his the pistol that he had taken from a security guard with him. But he was gonna stay there and look after them until perhaps they could send rescue or help or something. So, and that's where we left it. We did hear some gunshots later.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's
It's
fine.
fine.
Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
Just target practice for fun.
Exactly.
Space.
Dan, what do you got?
I'm Dan, and I'm basically just playing me named Roy. Kind of inspired by the IT crowd. He's the IT guy, and he mostly eats cookies.
True story.
Sometimes does computer stuff.
Little did we know, and it was actually very surprising when I was doing my research for this chapter, but that character from the IT crowd is actually based off Dan. So what art imitates life,
The
imitating
circle.
art, it's a circle.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's it exactly. That's it exactly.
That's why there's a movie called Dan in Real Life. It's about Dan.
That's very true. Bert.
You're actually not realizing, but this is not actually me. This is the actor acting as me.
Yeah.
I thought it was an AI that was just
No, when I go to
A
Dan's
deepfake
house to
AI.
barbecue, the actual Dan is here, and then the actor that you all see on screen who plays Dan, he's also there. So why don't we break the fourth wall a little bit? Actor who plays Dan, what's your real name?
Oh, it's Bob.
Bob? It's Bob
Yeah.
Vance. Bob Vance Jr. Your dad sold refrigerators?
That's right.
Okay.
Had to get out of the fridge market.
There you go. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Bert, what do you got, man?
Hey, I'm Jason Lasky. Oh, wait, hold on a second. You got a little something there. Yeah, I'm like the master of the custodial arts upon this system, and I correct all these stupid errors these supposedly smart people make. And I got a slight confession. I think I got a man crush on Dick. I mean, like, after that last episode, like, he's got something really deep down in there that just is admirable. I'd still space him, but I might feel guilty. Hey, Ruth, I just baked some of these brownies.
I'm sure these are this is beautiful. It's beautiful.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And why don't we meet the man that everyone's talking about? Jeremy, what do you got?
My name is Richard Worthy. I am your Seegson representative. As I remember mentioning to Todd some time ago, I would consider myself the giving tree. I've put my career on the line, made every diligent effort to try and keep these people alive, and there are those that would choose to mock me for that and other personal issues. That's fine. I'll continue to carry forward as is necessary.
Very good. I appreciate that. I really enjoy this back and forth that Ruth and Richard have. Mainly because as I'm doing this, I can hear Ashley fucking cackling like a loon in the other goddamn room. It's just absolutely amazing.
Just ruthless and self-righteous. It's a great combination.
All right. So here we pick back up. You all left Todd behind. You're with these 3 scientists, Dr. Emmett, Dr. Cuthbert, and Dr. Royvigs. John, of course, playing Dr. Cuthbert. John, do you have anything you want to add about Dr. Cuthbert? I don't think we ever touched on that.
No, we didn't. You characters, it's a smaller space station. They've probably run across him before. He's just kind of a grumpy old man.
Sure.
Skinny, balding.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you all were making it up, heading towards level or deck C. The spaceport is off of the main concourse, and as you found out from Dr. Emmett, Cuthbert, and Royvigs, there is in fact a ship docked there by the name of the Pazuzu. And it's in a hidden hangar, hanging out there for quite a while from what Dr. Emmett shared. And your plan is to get there, get on that ship, and escape. So, remind me, were you all taking the elevator? Because you do have an elevator that Jason hacked, but there was also essentially the stairs and the tunnels and the ladders heading on up, and that sounds more correct.
Indeed,
Yeah.
You had us make some stamina checks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, good.
At which there was obvious joking made at my expense.
I'm sorry about that.
There
Richard.
was.
I mean, it's not really a joke, sweetheart. If it's true, it's just pointing out a factual statement.
He looks so tired and he'd just barely gotten up.
As you all continue up, various levels of winded. Eventually, it opens up into the. It's the fact that Jeremy's just like, got that deadpan. I'm gonna kill this old lady.
You want to dance? You want to dance, Dick? Come on. Try me.
Eventually, you'll
What
make.
part of your welcome don't you understand? I've shared delicate information. I've kept my eyes open for you. I've applauded your efforts as a scientist. Nothing I do is good enough for you, is it?
Oh, no, not really. No.
Understood. Let's move on.
Honest, if
Okay.
nothing else.
Just like your family tried to do.
Oh God. Zing. You all make it to the concourse, finally. There goes Ashley cackling again. As you all open up, one of the, maintenance hatches, side doors, whatnot, opens up in the concourse. Of course, you already stopped by, moved through the concourse before. It was illuminated, like the lights, the power was on, everything was working. You did see through the security cameras, and also I think while the elevator went past, people lying around, presumably bodies. As you open the door, it's the same thing. This is the main kind of relaxation commercial. This is where people go to lounge, spend their off time. There's a few restaurants, a few bars. What do you got there, Dr. Cuthbert?
Did we Did we ever get spacesuits for the 3 doctors? Okay.
There
Just checking.
are spare spacesuits
It's not here.
upstairs.
Yes.
They're really far away, though.
Okay.
It is
That's what I thought.
F
Making
level.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no. As far as I know, yeah, the Dr. Emmett, Dr. Cuthbert, and Dr. Royvigs are without envirosuits. As you all open up, kind of start stepping out, you're kind of in a back corner of this place. You definitely didn't come out in the main entrance area. You're at a vantage point where you can kind of take it all in. And of course, you all know where the spaceport is, but Dr. Emmett, of course, points out, yes, it's just, we head right across here, we find our way to the spaceport, and then it's not actually marked anymore with any lettering or identification. And Dr. Cuthbert, you would know about this as well.
Yes.
But there's the secret hangar bay with the Pazuzu in it. Luckily, myself and Dr. Cuthbert and Dr. Royvigs all know the codes to access it, so it shouldn't be a problem to get us in. So, shall we continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't all of you? Well, let's not do that.
So, Doctor, just a quick question, just, for my own curiosity and all. So was this an experiment gone awry, or did you guys, find this thing somewhere?
Oh, it was found somewhere, not by us, but it was brought to us for study, and it proved to be rather aggressive and did escape the sealed environment.
Emmett, you put your peanut butter sandwich on it, and that's why it escaped. You put it on the hatch, and then it got out, and now everyone's dying, and we need to go.
That's why we don't bring food into the laboratory space. It's pretty simple.
I know, but listen, those long days, it's taxing. I need that little pick-me-up, that little energy bursts.
Jason will
Don't-
say as
don't
an
listen
aside
to
to Ruth, 5 credits say someone tried to put their penis on it.
Oh, I would imagine. But sure, it probably is. I've been working with some of these scientists for 40 years. Someone's always trying to put their penis on something. It's very strange.
Jason, go ahead and give me an observation test.
One can only assume that's how the peanut butter was applied.
Oh, look who's
Sometimes you have to
making
improvise,
jokes
and you
now.
need clean hands.
Jason, don't worry about the stress. This is a low-stress situation.
Good.
Yeah, don't worry about it right now. This is just a funsies roll. As you and Ruth are having that conversation, you two do notice that Dr. Royvigs is scratching a little.
Point.
Ruth looks back.
All right.
Anyhow.
Dr. Emmett bravely marches off just right through the center of the concourse. Are you all following along right behind him, trying to stick to the sides a little more stealthy? What's the plan?
I'm following along right behind. I have my knife out.
Sure.
I'm getting off this station alive. I'm not paid enough to die.
Yeah,
Jason's got his contraband gun out. Apparently contraband.
Nice. Chuck, would the panic I had from whatever was going down
It was
below, would that
enough
be gone by now?
Time climbing, yeah. Get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah, if anyone had any panic, go ahead and clear that out. Keep your stress, clear the panic.
We clammed the panic right out of ourselves.
Climb the panic right out of yourself.
That'll do it.
Speaking of that, Roy, you're a little bit of a nervous guy. Kind of picked up here and there.
Mhm.
Go give me an
No,
observation
that's not
test.
true.
Yeah, this time I do want you to roll that stress test. You did pull one success. You're keeping it together, but as you're moving through, you do notice All these bodies are missing.
People taking naps, you mean?
All the people that were taking naps are gone. Do with that information what you will.
Hey guys, like everybody taking naps around here finally woke up and went somewhere else.
Naps.
And those of you who had seen the bodies before, that does, you look around and yeah, they're not here.
Well, then, if you don't have something in your hands already, fill it, whether it's with a broken chair leg or whatever.
You think the people who were napping are going to come and take your cookies?
I don't have any reason to believe anything good will happen to us.
And I'd fight for cookies.
Not sure what the rate of infection. Well, I mean, we know the rate of infection, but we don't know what happens after. So,
What do you know about the creature? Dick showed me some of your lab work. And it's a bit concerning. Are we dealing with something roaming the halls? You think here? You keep saying it got out.
Roivig would be the expert on that. He's the one that dealt with it the most. Spent a lot of alone time with it.
Yes. Well, I mean, it started off initially what we thought were a few microcellular organisms, and then they began replicating, realizing, looking at them, that they were actually nano... I don't want to call them robots. Their behavior was much more like a colony of ants. Think of it like that. And then eventually enough of them grew and they formed into like a large amoeboid.
Well, that's extraordinarily concerning. You know that.
Very much so.
Do they animate things, or do we think they've been taking the dead for sustenance?
It very well could be that they've been taking them for... Sustenance is a way to do it, yes. Sustenance could be. I mean, that's terrifying. I've never seen them animate things. The most discerning things concerning thing I've seen is their ability to replicate things. Not always perfectly, but they yes.
Replicate things.
Well, yes. I mean...
What kind of things?
Well, I mean, at first it was inanimate objects. You leave a tweezers, petri dish. You come back a little while later and there's two of them. Exposure to small animals, such as rats and everything. Initially it was very easy to tell them apart, but over time... Yes.
You kept teaching it to get better?
Right, we weren't teaching it. We were observing it, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
There is difference of opinion on that, but yes.
Yes. And I mean, that was fine, and we were fine, and then... I really wish that Dr. Emmett wouldn't have left the crackers in there the same day that it started trying to communicate, but that's besides the point. We got to go all the same.
That is true.
Well, this is terrifying, Dick. I'm pretty sure they might have just ended the universe. But, let's try to get to that ship.
Yes, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And three of them, well, Dr. Cutmer, you have your own agency, but Dr. Emmett and Dr. Roivigs, of course, continue shuffling along.
I do kind of want to look for something I might be able to arm myself with at this point.
Yeah, give me an observation test.
Cuthbert is...
Yeah, go ahead, John.
I was going to say, Cuthbert drops back by Dick, and he's like,
gosh.
Look, these other two are idiots. They were hands-on with it, but they're morons. Unsafe. I told them not to do any of those things, but they didn't listen. And you all seem to have made wiser choices with the spacesuits and everything. I'm just going to hang out with you all. Because, yeah.
We'll do our best to work together, keep level-headed. We'll have to deal with a lot of ruthless passive aggression, but...
Oh, I know. I remember her from college. I mean, those are fun times, but... Yes, she earned the nickname.
So, first things first, kind of during this conversation, Richard, you are looking around for, I presume, some kind of weapon.
Some kind of weapon, or even if it's just like a pan they could put up in front of me as a shield.
You actually, looking around, you see a small sculpture, and it's like this, like titanium, like helix kind of thing. And as you pick it up, it is almost the same size as like a baseball bat. Could definitely be used to brain something, and it's lightweight. It's got some strength to it. Roy, however, you did failure, so you're not going to find any cool weapons. But as you're kind of like, you move off a little bit, maybe poke your head behind one of the little information terminal booths, see if like, oh, maybe they've got some contraband back here or something. Like maybe I'll find a flamethrower that got confiscated and stashed back here. You go and you look, and you don't see anything like that. But as you're kind of standing up, being disappointed by your lack of finding things, you hear Roy. It's good to see you. As you look at the terminal, and you see on the terminal in front of you is Dr. Karen Stevenson.
Karen?
Please, Dr. Stevenson. Listen. You and your friends here have done a good job of avoiding infection so far. I cannot let you escape. You understand that, correct?
Escape?
I need you all to head back down to Docking Bay B or C.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately.
Where the machine guns are at?
Yes. It's unfortunate that you know about that, but yes, it is to immediately. The only way to contain this is to ensure that nothing ever leaves.
That's not really how that works.
Well,
like this place goes dark, and then somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, what happened to the space station out there?" And then they're gonna send someone here, and then they'll leave with it.
Well, I am trying to spare you.
I've seen a movie.
I am trying to spare you all the far more painful death.
Which one?
When I turn on the station-wide incinerators.
Oh, well, if you've had those the whole time, I don't know why you haven't done that.
Because burning to death, I believe, would be rather painful. Being shot
to 1,000,000 pieces, slowly but surely, isn't?
It'll be a faster, less painful death.
One where you get hit, really?
Listen. You need to stop you and your friends from trying to leave. This is my final warning. If you continue heading towards the ship, I will have no choice but to take action.
All right. Let me just go ahead and turn this off for you real quick so we don't waste any power.
Roy, don't. Roy? Oh. Hang on before we come back to you, Roy. Think about what you're about to tell the rest of the group. The other thing I wanted to point out is, Richard, as you found that, kind of looking around, grabbing it, and as you're looking at this big, double DNA structure, you see what looks like a little blue snowflake land on it. But as you kind of look around, you can see there's all these little blue small motes of light kind of floating around here and there. They're not super dense, enough that you all hadn't noticed it yet. But Richard, now that you saw the one, you're looking and you see the rest. And it's about that time that Roy rejoins the group.
Did you guys know that there's like a whole station-wide incinerator installed on here?
Yes, the Oopsie protocol.
Ruth, you
it's not actually
know about the Oopsie protocol.
Sure.
Oh, Karen
necessarily.
was on a computer somehow, and she's like, "You're all about to get oopsied if you don't come back and get shot instead."
It's
But she's
airborne.
dead.
It's
What-
airborne.
That's
She
kinda what
might
I
be
thought.
right.
What are you
And
talking
she-
about, Dick?
Look over there. I don't want that, but
I'll go take a look.
Well, as Dick, you kind of pointed out, the rest of you would start to notice those blue motes floating around. And you also see Dr. Emmett and Dr. Royvigs way down there. They never slowed down. But you all are aware now of these blue motes floating through the air.
That's the thing that kills us.
or assimilates.
I don't know. We haven't seen it at this kind of stage. It might be like a pollination type effect or something. Oh God, I need a spacesuit. Oh God, I'm going to die.
You should probably not go near that there, Doctor.
Well, maybe we just gotta go faster then. Faster than the oopsie can happen. Or we go back and get shot.
Wait, no. The Pazuzu will have a cryo bay. Yes, you can put me and the other three in it, and maybe we'll find a cure. Yeah, we should do that. Then,
Is
sure.
there a cryo bay reasonably adjacent to the direction we're going?
And do you tell us about the incinerator?
So, Dr. Cuthbert, Dr. Ruth, the two of you would, I mean, it's exactly what they release very flammable gas through the ventilation system, and then they just ignite it.
Would Ruth know whether or not there? Because that's like a safety protocol probably for various specimens getting out of control, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be? Is there a self-destruct mechanism for the ship or for the station?
There is.
So Ruth would say to Dick,
If we want to be, noble citizens of the system, we might want to try to destroy the station. In case some of this gets out. Not with us on it, I'm saying. Of course not. But someone might come, figure out what happened here, and then they get infected, and maybe they have less scruples than you, Dick.
Oh, you're right. That's the thing to do.
I think so.
What do I have to lose anyways?
You know what? I have all these other people's little PDATs. Maybe I'll turn one of them on and see if Karen shows up on it instead.
Well, maybe we should not talk to
I
her
wonder if
much
she,
anymore.
knows that it was me or just went off the device.
And maybe she's tracking us via those PDATs. Who knows? She's also dead, I believe, so we might not even be talking to the real one.
I think it might
Who
be
would we
like
be talking
AI or
to?
something.
Are you, Ruth? Are you saying that it replicated Dr. Stevenson?
Well,
I mean, it's a
possibly.
possibility.
I saw science, theoretically, I suppose.
All right, everybody, bring in your PDATs. We're turning them off.
If we want to follow that course of action, Ruth, the sooner the better.
well, I know where. I'm assuming would Ruth know where to find it, like where we need to go for it.
That would be Deck G, the upper tower. There's the Operation Dome, and then there's also the Emergency Ops on Deck H. Either of those would be capable of setting off the station self-destruct.
So she'll mention those as well to Dick.
We should either detour on our way back to the Pazuzu, or a couple of us go, and the rest goes to the Pazuzu and get everything ready.
I'll go to the Pazuzu and get things ready. I mean, the other two are already almost there.
Of course, you need to get into
Set
one of
off a
those beds.
self-destruct. I'll probably go self-destruct.
Oh, you're a young man. You go
But
ahead.
you
and
need
go to the
someone to
wizard's
actually like do the thing. You don't think that's gonna be locked down?
You really are underestimating me. I haven't been working in this industry for the better part of 55 years and not know how to function around a terminal, young man.
Just look under the keyboard for the password. Not there. Look on the sides of the screen.
All of a
Ruth
sudden,
is going to
Okay.
hold the stun baton up to Roy to shock him. Not hit him, just a little shock.
Roy, like, you get a little zap from Ruth, and it's at that moment that you get that little zap. All of a sudden, the lights in the concourse start flashing red.
Oh, it's probably happened. All right, I got an idea.
The fire
Let's take
alarm
our
starts
feet in.
sounding.
Let's take some of our PDATs, and I'm gonna go to the elevator and just put them in the elevator and just send it down. I got a bunch of spares, so
As the alarms are sounding, the lights are flashing. You all can very clearly see the floor is being flooded by fire suppressant gas. Now, 4 of you are wearing suits.
oh, you go ahead, Doctor.
Dr.
Yeah, oh
Cutler,
yeah, I'm hauling ass. I will do a mobility roll if you'd like to catch up and get up there.
I don't think I'm going to call for a mobility roll. I'm going to call for a stamina roll
Okay.
Oh no.
from you and the other scientists. You pass, you're doing fine. You hold your breath. Go ahead and roll that for me twice more. These aren't yours, but it's the same stats as the other scientists. Dr. Emmett. As you're running towards them, Dr. Cuthbert, you can see Dr. Roivig start clutching at his throat and drops to his knees. Dr. Emmett looks back at you with a very confused look on his face.
Got an idea.
Fire suppression, go! I'm not stopping. I keep going.
Okay. So, all of a sudden, Dr. Roivig takes off. What are the 4 remaining going to do? Are you heading up to set off self-destruct?
I
Yeah.
want Jason to come
Yes.
over the elevator with me for a second. We pop the door open, then the gas should blow down the elevator shaft.
Pick up my jack.
Yeah. You do? You pop the elevator shaft. That's not a problem. The elevator shaft is open, which should help dissipate this gas. As we've already noted, it is heavier than air, so it would sink. All right, so people are talking about going up to ops and blowing the station. People are talking about going to the ship and getting it ready for takeoff.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Cuthbert, you're running. We know what you're doing.
Yes.
Roy, Ruth has given you a shock and said, "You are young. Get the hell out of here."
Sounds like I'm going to the ship.
Jason,
I am going to the ship.
Okay. Richard. What do you
I
got?
don't have
Score
to
for
like or
old
to agree
times?
with her.
Old times. All right. Okay.
She's bitter and ruthless, but she's smart.
All right. Ruth, Richard, heading back to these maintenance tunnels to climb up, or are you going to try an elevator?
I don't trust the elevator.
I agree. There's still some strength in these legs left, so we can go climbing.
Sure. The 2 of you run back to the door that you came to, or you came out of. You start climbing up. Each of you go ahead and give me a stamina test.
Oh boy. Oh Lord.
Ruth, that's rough. Go ahead and roll your stress.
What is this game?
Ha
So Ruth, you get that nervous twitch.
Mhm.
Richard, you're going to increase. Ruth almost slips and falls, but you kind of like catch, help her regain her footing.
Come on, Ruth. We don't have time for this. Where's the strength in those legs?
I've got strength. I just don't have grip strength as well. That's the problem. See, my hands. It's the arthritis is starting to kick in.
Dr. Cuthbert, give me a stamina test. You're doing fine. You can feel this, like your head's going a little light, but you're fighting through it. Give me 2 more.
Sure thing.
Okay. You run by, and you're the first one to clear him, Dr. Royvik. On the ground, clutching at his throat. You can see his lips going blue. Dr. Emmett, you can see has made it to the door and is waving you towards the opening into the starport.
I keep running.
Or the spaceport, yeah. All right. Jason, Roy, same thing. The two of you eventually run past Dr. Royvig on the ground, going blue.
I'll probably try and, pick him up. Maybe Jason and I can both get him.
Yeah, each of us just grab an arm and drag him along with
You're in
us.
suit, so it's not a problem.
Maybe we try to lift him up out of the gas a little bit.
Yeah, you can feel him. He's limp, but hopefully if you can get him to an area with some not screwed up air. I saw that, Ruth. Maybe. As the Emmett punches in a code, spaceport opens up. You can see this big open area where all these, ships come in, people come through. It's got all sorts of, Sigson, those little holograms that pop up. Here at Sigson Landstuhl Biostation, we're doing this. And as it does, you get this rush of fresh air. And you're kind of clear from the stamina test. Dr. Emmett runs on in, and he's running towards a blank section of wall. You know that there's a hidden panel that opens up that reveals where the Pazuzu is at. Jason, Roy, you're two dragging them along. You get close enough that this air flushes in, and you can kind of start feeling little stirrings here and there from Royvik's. As the two of you are moving into the spaceport, I want you both to give me an observation test. Roy, you did good.
Would more successes be helpful? I can roll some more stress.
This is fair. Jason.
Okay, I'm good.
You're doing good, Jason. You hear behind you someone yell out, "Wait for me." And Jason, it panics you. You did pull 2 successes here, so you get the additional bit of information. It sounds like Dr. Emmett.
Okay, but can we see anything?
Do you turn around and look?
Yes.
You see someone running towards you.
I shoot him.
That's totally fair.
So I know Emmett's dead. And that sounds like Emmett. So
It sounds like Emmett. You look around and it is this strange mechanical monstrosity. Go ahead and roll me your attack test if you turn around and shoot.
Yep. There you go. 2 successes.
2 successes. Very good.
And the stress is fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
You freeze as this.
Mhm.
Your base damage is 1. You deal 2 points of damage. As you hit, and you see all of these little metallic tentacles kind of start swarming into where the bullet impacted and like digging around as this dude's running towards you. Just a sprint. Wait, don't leave without me. Wait, I know the codes. And it's Dr. Emmett's voice.
I like lock the door, seal it shut behind us.
Give me a comm tech.
Go look at your robot self and understand why. Oh my gosh, I cannot stop rolling stress tonight. Every single roll.
God.
Roll me your stress. You're gonna get the door closed, and you're keeping it together. The door slams shut. You hear this supposed Dr. Emmett collide with the door, the other side of the door. You hear the scramble of him going towards the panel to open it.
Thanks. Smashed.
Okay, I won't make you roll. You smash it. Jason, Roy, you and Dr. Roy Viggs continue after Cuthbert and Emmett towards the ship.
And at least they appear to not be good at copying humans yet because, damn.
After Jason kind of shakes it off, he's like, dude, but did you see that? That's like totally metal, man.
I know. Like, really good with computers.
We're going to cut over to our people climbing stairs. It's a long trek. It's very uneventful. Eventually, you make it up to the operations dome. As you make your way over towards it, through the level, it doesn't take long. Well, you wouldn't smell it, but you can see there's smoke in the air. And as you make it to the doors, you can kind of peer in through the little window and see that someone has just smashed every console inside the operations dome. But there's the fallback of emergency ops. Head that way?
Is likely where the doctor will be, if I'm going to make a guess.
Nate, I'm surprised I'm going to say this, but I agree. I agree with you.
Do you need a
Do you have a
second?
weapon?
Got a piece of metal here.
That'll hopefully have to do. And I'm ready to go when you are, sweetheart. Round 2?
Electric boogaloo.
You're so funny.
It used to be.
You all...
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Chin up. Chin up.
As you're having
You're
this
being
little
heroic at
conversation,
everything.
you hear, hello? I decided to come with you all. Where are you? And you notice it's the voice of none other than Dr. Cuthbert.
Can we hide?
Yes, you may. Absolutely, you may. Go ahead and just roll me that mobility test for hiding.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna make us roll, I
God.
guess.
You'll get a hide.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
Every time.
every time.
Every time I roll, it's crazy, right?
It is, yeah. I would like to
okay.
point out that in our bits and shits, wherever the hell I put in our bits document, there are 5 points of stress relief. If you all want to try cash those in, or there's also rerolls in there. Jeff, if you wanted to reroll that and ignore that stress roll.
Sure.
Sure.
I'll do it. Mobility, right? Let's do this. All right, 1 success.
Okay, good. The
I'm
two
gonna
of you,
push. I don't think I succeeded.
you did not succeed. You didn't. we're going to say this. You are hiding you find a coat rack and you throw a coat over your head. You're just standing next to the coat rack as Roy is just no, here, and pulls you back behind an actual place to hide. As you all see, once again, I don't have to show the image again because it's the same kind of thing. You see this creature, this techno-organic creature. At first, you're like, zombie, sure, yeah, what the hell? But you kind of taking it in, entirely mechanical. And you can kind of watch as it's walking, its flesh is kind of stitching together, and it's more and more taking on the look of Dr. Cuthbert, and it's unaware of your location. As it kind of walks up to the doors to the, the operations dome. It's kind of looking in. It calls out again. Wait for me, guys. I've decided to come with you.
Dick's gonna, since you flavor like there was a code or something, Dick's gonna kind of flavor one arm on his side, one arm on Ruth's side, and motion and point down the stairs.
Ruth fall.
Okay. What are you two doing? And also, John, thanks for those bits. Refreshing that reroll.
Avoiding this thing,
Sure.
and I think is that what we want to do?
Yeah.
And try to get to, because I don't think either of us are good at this. So, and try to sneak our way to emergency ops.
Okay, yeah. Hiding was one thing. Sneaking your way towards emergency ops without it noticing you is another thing. I want more mobility.
All right. Here we go. Every freaking time. It's
Every time?
insane.
Okay, Ruth, roll me your stress. Drop an item. You've got pulled 2 successes. You're going to get there, but you got to drop me an item.
Okay.
Roll it randomly if you can't decide.
Drop the cookie for me.
If I can decide, I would never drop. Bite your tongue. I will drop the personal med kit because I don't think it's going to be useful.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You all cut back, moving away. You can see it's trying to get in to the operations dome, but you make it back to the ladder, and you head on up towards emergency ops. Back downstairs. As the banging on the door is stopped, Roy and Jason, you catch up with Dr. Cuthbert, Dr. Emmett. The door, initially you thought it was just a blank panel. Dr. Emmett pulled open like a little electric receptacle, and there's a small keypad there, punches in a code, and this flat chunk of wall opens and reveals there's in fact another hangar port in here with this old kind of raggedy looking freighter setting inside.
There it is. There it is.
So, getting this thing ready to go, of course, getting on the ship, piloting, of course, that's a thing you've got to do. You can also see that the bay doors are closed. There's a small control panel kind of nearby. You would have to open up the bay doors. You would also have to program this on a little bit of a delay to decompress this room so the bay doors can open so you all can leave.
Are there lockers for spacesuits at all in here?
There are.
Okay.
You can see there are 4 of them in here. Same model as before.
Emmett, Roivig, let's get suits on. We don't want to contaminate the ship.
They'll go with it.
Okay. We'll go put on spacesuits.
Now, putting on spacesuits. Jason and Roy, what are you doing while the 3 of them are doing that?
Doing a systems check of the well, actually, have we reached the ship?
You're
We
in
gotta
the
get
bay
in
of the ship.
first.
Entering
Yeah.
the ship you can do.
Yeah, I want to check the bay first, make sure it's clear of anything that might like clamps or whatever holding it down. If it's been engaged that way, just do an outside check first.
I'll give you a free basic check. There's nothing outside physically holding it down.
Okay, and then I would go in and do the same thing. Just do a systems check, make sure there's no surprises.
Yeah, it's an old freighter. It's got a lot of personality. You can tell that it's been fixed up, it's been cleaned up a little bit, but this is something that's seen a lot of use. Also, it's coated in dust. It's been sitting here for a while.
Right. Well, that alone gives me a little like I want to clean every surface, but I hold myself in. Yeah, I want to make sure it's space worthy. You want like a heavy machinery roll or something for me to check it over.
Yeah. Roy, what do you got?
Oh my
sounds
gosh!
like the first thing that we maybe need to spend some time on is getting the bay ready for us. So I might work on that since you said.
Comcast to start programming this in. Did you get rid of all your PDATs?
Nope. I kept mine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can easily tie your control into your PDAT, so that way you can remotely operate this. You will need to give me a ComTech, and you did. You did roll a stress. Don't roll that. Oh, you both rolled. Go ahead. Jason, don't worry about seeking cover.
I was going to say, I'll accept that, but it's like I'm not setting foot outside of the ship now. I feel like this is the safe space. I'm not leaving.
We're going to go with that. You are now in your safe space.
So I did get a success.
To be clear, there's no crew on the ship except for us.
There is absolutely no one on this ship.
Either of you know how to fly?
Dr. Emmett would proudly chime out. I'm sure I can figure it out.
I've actually flown, Emmett.
Very well. Now, Dan, as you're at the terminal in the bay, getting it tied into your PDAT so you can kind of remotely operate things from inside the ship, you're watching the others as they're getting their spacesuits on, having this conversation over comms about who can fly, who can get us out of here. As you're doing this, I'm giving you a free chance to notice something, because this is going to fuck up your plans. You can see that Dr. Emmett, as he's kind of talking, you can see that he kind of like lifts up one of his pants legs to start like putting his feet in this enviro suit, like in the pants portion of it. As he kind of does that, you could see initially you think it's like a lot of varicose veins, which, it's its own health condition. No big deal there, right? Until you see little blue motes of light occasionally kind of streak through those veins. Whatever you said, Dan, it didn't come through.
I said ouchies.
Looking at the others, as you're kind of watching Dr. Cuthbert, occasionally you see another little blue streak right under the skin.
On both scientists now?
You watch Dr. Royvik, and you don't see any signs of those little blue streaks on him.
Maybe this is possibly being creative. Maybe instead of I can leave Royvik alone, possibly, and see if I can get the two of them to come over to me before they get their suits on, so they can help me work on this.
Dr. Cuthbert, this is entirely up to you. How would you frame this, Roy? What are you saying? How are you doing this? Because this is now player versus player interaction.
Yeah. Just totally fair. I'm having some hard time getting the programming right on this door, so we'll gas at the right time. I'm hoping somebody can help me out, but hard to do with hands and spacesuit.
Fine. Just I'll walk over and I'll try to take a look at it.
So Dan, you've got him over. He hasn't finished putting on his spacesuit. What's up?
Now remember, get on there, fly us out of here, set the course. And
since I already actually have control of it, I'm just going to go ahead and open it up and vent.
You are going to vent the fucking bay. You are in your suit. Jason is in the ship. Well, Yes, that is genius. It absolutely is. We do need to have some rolls here. First off, Roy, you are prepared for this. You're going to give me a mobility test, and you get to take
Which
a
I have.
+1 on it. So roll me another d6.
Oh,
and we
yeah,
have
but I don't-
rerolls. Yeah,
Okay, I might take one of those
Go ahead.
rerolls.
Go ahead. You latch onto this terminal as you vent. Now, Dr. Cuthbert, this kind of catches
Yeah.
you by surprise. You were also
What?
going to give me a mobility test.
Okay.
You do not get a bonus in this. You also latch on. All of a sudden,
You asshole!
and Roy are looking eye to eye as you're latched onto the same terminal, trying to keep from getting sucked into the vacuum of space.
Do
Whereas-
I see that from inside the ship?
You're
I assume the door's
infected.
open.
You would get notifications that there's depressurization. You're in the ship, so you're not going to get sucked out,
Right.
but you would see what's going on.
You're infected, and so is Emmett. Yeah.
I'm stabbing.
I imagine we're just slapping each other at this point.
I have a knife. I'm stabbing you.
I
Oh my
shoot. I shoot him as well.
You're in the ship.
Yeah, if I can like just hold on to the edge and lean out. I'm not leaving the ship, but
Okay. Go ahead and make me your shoot test. So, John, with the Enviro suit, I think what does the Enviro suit give for a base armor bonus?
2.
2? John, you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you 3. You've got enough of it on.
Sure.
So, Bert, you're gonna go ahead and shoot him. And John, I'm gonna let you have 3 armor die. So, Bert, that is 2 points of damage.
I am going to push it because why not?
I didn't get any successes.
Okay, yeah, Bert, go ahead and push.
3.
2 more successes.
Shit. All right, Bert.
The stress of
I'm
shooting
dead.
a scientist.
Bert,
Actually, I'm out of
Yeah,
health.
so I'm just screaming inside of my environmental suit as I'm doing it.
Time for a critical injury.
it is.
Is that the button there?
Is there a critical injury button? Oh,
There is.
Oh my gosh.
You are disemboweled.
Shoot him in
Instant
the
death.
guts.
It's like it's a weird mixture of vacuum and gut shot where all of a
It's just-
sudden, Roy, you shoot and it's just fucking streamers go shooting across the bay. John, your character is dead.
Your
Sorry,
first
John.
real death of a PC in this entire
I
campaign.
didn't even do it.
Bert,
know.
I know.
Bert did it. All right.
Jason's still got his gun out and he just,
I'd like to
just keeps
take
on
partial
screaming.
success for this now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, total
Yeah.
assist on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Jason and Roy, the two of you have this bay under control. It's just the two of you in here now. Dr. Cuthbert is dead, and the other two got sucked out into space. As we return to Ruth and Richard, the two of you eventually make it up into emergency ops. As you approach, you can see these think like bank vault style doors with this little intercom outside of it. What do you all want to do?
You have a code for this? Or, I mean, I could try to weasel my way through it, but you're such a big
high or
man.
low,
Maybe
man?
you've got the codes.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
Richard,
because one of my starting items was a card with corporate clearance,
you've
but
got it then.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Well, okay.
You swipe your card. And you hear this heavy
ready.
door unlock.
I think the doctor's in there.
The door opens. You can see this small, kind of like emergency command center. As you kind of look inside, you can see there's blood on the floor. And you can see partially slumped over in the chair. Hang on a second. Is Dr. Karen Stevenson. She kind of like comes to a little bit And you can see that she is missing an arm and a leg. And they've been tourniqueted off, like she's tied them off. Well, I didn't expect to see you two here.
Let's be brief. We don't think you're taking it far enough. The whole station has to go.
I have my orders. I am to keep anything from leaving so that others can come and research what happened here.
Well, orders are orders. Okay. Is it okay if we wait in here with you? It's a little safer in here, I think, than
I'd like to
out
yammer
there.
out some corporate jargon about, clause 13J of potential risk of another corporation performing, some espionage.
Manipulation test, man.
Listen, I appreciate you're doing everything in your power. That's why you've been in charge of this. But you have to understand, we have reason to believe there's actually a Weyland-Yutani vessel not too far from us, and it's more likely for them to intersect this than for another Seegson.
Sure.
And therefore, it would be appropriate for us to deny them that information.
So, before we resolve that, Ruth, you asked if you two can stay there. She's like, just close the door.
And she starts going in, and she starts walking out.
Good. I was getting very nervous.
And she's going to start getting closer to the woman.
Yeah, you've given the opening for the two of you to enter. Close the door behind. You did good on your manipulation roll. You did good on it. Shit. Get in here and close the door. We need 2 officers to set off the self-destruct anyway, so it's a good thing you showed up. That panel there, as she kind of like scooches her office chair. Ruth, come give me a hand. I'm not seeing straight anymore.
Ruth will get close, but she's keeping a very keen eye on this woman as she approaches, looking for any strange signs. We saw that kind of blue, flaky stuff, anything like that.
You don't need to roll for this. As you kind of move up, you can see her arm above the elbow and her leg below the knee. Same side, on her right side, they're missing. And you can kind of see some of the signs of like a first infection. You can see the raised veins, the skin, but kind of dripping out from the blood every now and then. She didn't get the tourniquet quite tight enough. And as this blood kind of drips out and splatters on the floor, you can see hints of blue, like glitter in the fluid as it hits the ground.
So Ruth is going to come up, hands kind of shaking. And she's like,
Sure, I'll give you a hand. 1 second, Karen.
and then she's going to beat her over the head with the stun baton.
I love it. Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a close combat roll. You're going to kill her. I just would like to know how it's going to go.
Okay. That's 2 successes.
Fucking Ruth is ruthless here. You one heavy strike right to the back of the head at the base of the neck, or the top of the neck, and immediately she locks up. A couple more smashes right to the top of the head, and all of a sudden she is slumped over, just kind of twitching a little bit, thoroughly dead. Why don't
She'll hit the twitches.
go hit the twitches? Both of you.
She's
go.
panicked right now, so
That's fair. That's fair. Both of you go and take a point of stress.
All right. Ruth, that's good work, but you need to get it together. We have something very important to do right now. I'm going to try and help her break out of her panic.
yeah, she's still hitting. She's going to keep hitting and hitting until she breaks out of the panic.
Ruth, you're better than that.
What?
We have something we need to do right now. You don't like me. I don't like you. We have to work together right now.
Of course I like you. What are you talking about? That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Usually I have to work a lot harder than that. Okay, what do we got to do?
I'll walk her through.
Yeah. The two of you walk through this process to set up the, destruction. self-destruct. It's not a problem. Richard,
So,
you know the
Ruth, sometimes I absolutely hate you, but I will let you know you've been a little bit of warmth I've had recently.
Well, Dick, I don't actually hate you, and it actually makes me very happy to know that you're getting my name right this time. Because in truth, I've been a little cross with you for a while now. I feel like you used me. You took advantage. You were at a low point in your life, and you just sort of discarded me. But that's fine. I understand. I'm an old lady. It's okay. I understand.
But it's not.
Fine.
So,
No. Listen, I'm sorry about all the pop shots I made about your family. Of course, it's very sad. It's very
it's the
sad.
stuff about my family that really bothered me. I thought you were laughing at my children.
No, sweetheart. I was laughing at you. I was laughing at what a terrible father and what a total gullible sap you are.
And I'm going to hit him over the head.
To what degree?
That's okay.
I'm just going to hit him like really hard.
Oh shit. Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually going to swing at him. Okay, it's no longer panicked. I'm just following my agenda.
Uh-huh.
Nor hit the other. Oh my god, of course.
Do you want to use a reroll?
That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Roll the stress.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's totally fair. Okay. I start. And then I kind of freeze up, maybe, realizing what I'm doing. What? She's covered in blood, probably, from the explosion.
You can only see out a part of the helmet because the other hat's covered in blood.
Richard, you've walked Ruth through enough steps that you know one button and it goes.
Wow.
White. As we wrap chapter 3, we see the Pazuzu flying away from Landstuhl Biostation. 2 survivors, Jason and Roy, in the seat, struggling as best they can to keep the ship flying. Sensors start just blaring, going white with the overload as the fusion cores powering the station overload and completely detonate. We see the Pazuzu sailing off into the darkness of space. But as we kind of watch it go, you see something on the hull crawling along. It's Dr. Emmett. And that's where we wrap chapter 3. Well, I didn't get a DPK.
Just
but I got
can't get
close.
rid of the bastard.
No, Jeremy, Jeff, that was a very good scene.
That was
really
an awesome
enjoyed that.
scene. That was good.
Sorry, Jeremy. I just was playing to the agenda I gave her.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
I secretly been waiting for a chance to use that one corporate ability to let somebody else get
Yeah.
hurt in your place.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to kill you
Yeah.
all session, but it just didn't go that way.
I was kind of expecting the zombie situation to evolve into that. Like,
I thought so, but then I sincerely was worried that if you're going to do the big explosion, it was going to be the you need 2 people thing.
And it
That's the only
was.
reason I didn't feed
It
him to the
was.
zombie then.
so that was good. That was good. I would like to go in on another scene real quick. A little post-credit. We cut back to the warehouse that you all left Todd in. As that person who was pacing back and forth, Todd, you were watching. They stopped for a very long time. You were concerned. all of a sudden their skin started kind of like rippling as little metallic tendrils started stretching out. They charged directly at the other crew member you were with, the one with the leg. You unloaded your 4 shots. They fell. You put your suit gloves back on. You tossed them in the hallway. Took 4 shots to bring them down. But you were thinking, I'm good. I just gotta wait for someone to rescue us now. And it never happens. Okay.
Oh well.
There we go.
Rescue never comes.
Poor Todd.
Poor Todd.
Yeah.
Poor Todd.
Poor Todd.
It
Or
was
Too good for this world.
Self-destruct
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened. Todd would have been rescued. All right. So here's our plan. Next week, we're doing a one-shot. We're going to be doing some kids on bikes. Everyone here plus my train.
Nice.
We're going to be doing a giveaway. Was it Beetle and Bards? That's the name of the company, right?
Beetle
Jeff?
and Grind.
Beetle and Grims.
Beetle and Grim. Beetle and
Grims.
Bards is Zelda. That's it.
Beetle. Oh, it was it wasn't.
Yeah. So Beetle and Grim, we got a GM notebook we're going to be giving away next week. My Trey did some work on it, and it's super fucking cool. So tune in next week for our Kids on Bikes one shot. After that, in 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be starting up chapter 4. This is going to be our Resistance chapter. It's going to be
Nice.
another kind of longer one, like the Pirates was. We're also going to do some time jumps. We're going to use it to kind of piece some background pieces together of this overarching story. But yeah, that's what we got. Let's do some closing plugs and wrap it before we say something extremely stupid, because if you let me talk long enough, I'll get there. Jeff, what are the gaggers got happening?
Yeah, man. Friday we are playing some Blade Runner. So we are getting close to the end of that campaign. But I think it's probably our second to last step. Saturday we are doing a One Ring second edition where I made everyone cry last week. Monday we are back to Call of Cthulhu, Horror in the Orient Express. You can see Chuck and Jeremy in that game. And then on Tuesday we have some Forbidden Lands where our buddy Steven is trying to kill us with giant tentacles.
Nice.
Constantly. Like just constantly.
Time. We know Steven's MO. All right. John, what you got happening?
Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Defenders of Cobalt YouTube channel, we have doing a little Pathfinder second edition, doing the Age of Ashes adventure path. And they are all goblins, and the plot line is aggressively avoided.
Super. Very much.
But love is in the air. So much love, or just mating. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's something. Yeah.
It's something. Dan, what's up, man?
Always happy to have people come check out our Discord. We got memes, talk about the episodes. There's Lollygarrick is there, Grim Paris Studios there. We're there. Come hang out.
Very cool. Very cool. Bert, what you got going, man?
Let's see. This is a Weird Frontier Saturday, isn't it?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's going on the official Goodman Games channel on Saturday.
Mhm.
Friday, we are probably doing a BX, Basic Expert Dungeons and Dragons, some old school stuff. This Sunday, I don't know. Maybe some play testing. We'll see.
Cool.
See how it goes.
Very cool. Very cool. And Jeremy, what you got, man?
Aaron Reese on Patreon. We got comics, maps, tokens, other cool assets. Check it out.
Can't go wrong there. And like I said, next Wednesday, we're going to be doing some Kids on Bikes. Wednesday after that, we'll be into Alien All Fear the Ishtar Chapter 4. Fridays, come check us out as we play some Umerica, Mutated Teenage Monstrosities, DCC, and the American Apocalypse. And what is it, on Saturday? Is it at 1 p.m. or noon? I can never remember.
I think it's 1.
Saturday, 1 p.m. over on the Grim and Perilous YouTube. We'll be live streaming our Tales from the Loop campaign, Through the Hedgerows. Jeff and Dan are in that. along with Adam, Steven, Maitre, Melissa. Is that everyone? Jeff and Dan, Maitre, Melissa.
Yeah, that's it. The 6. Yeah.
Steven. Yeah. So that's all I got. Good job, everyone. I guess we'll catch you all later.
We did good.
Have a good night.
I died twice.